Another thing that is very important, of course, is the stabilization. If you want to vlog, you really should respect your audience. This is a Paczkomat. This is a Polish petrol station. And I'm driving to work. Hello. I think I've pretty much settled down on a vlogging rig after 10 years of experimenting. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. No camera is a full frame camera in this setup. Is it weird? I don't know what is your attitude towards vlogging. Mine is that I have to be able to turn on the camera very fast and turn it off very fast. And I have to be able to put it in my pocket, at least in my jacket pocket. Because if I don't do this, I have something in my hand. And so I don't have the hand to do something, to catch my falling kid, for example. And this is a real problem, and this is a real solution. I cannot lug around a full frame camera, because if I do that, I'm basically unable to interact with my children, with my family, and of course the interactions with my family are higher priority than my vlogging, you know. Another thing that is very important, of course, is the stabilization. If you want to vlog, you really should respect your audience and therefore serve a stabilized image. And there is various kinds of stabilization you can have. You have the shitty stabilization in your smartphone, which is basically cropping in and using electronics in order to stabilize the footage. As you already know, I don't use a smartphone, I don't like smartphones, and so I don't have a smartphone. So this is not an option, but I tried vlogging with an iPhone and it's very cumbersome, bulky, and the interface on glass is not really very user-friendly, and so I am using an action camera, and there is a reason for that. I'm using the DJI Osmo Action 1. And the reason for that is that it offers a better cinematic quality than the GoPros, which are over-sharpened and which have far worse software, firmware I should say, and they have bugs, and also the codecs are not really good, and I like the color profile which is inside of the DJI products, which is called D-Cine-like, because it's very, very easy to color grade afterwards, and you don't have the problem with over-sharpened and over-saturated footage. I think also the dynamic range is a little bit higher in this setting. And I'm of course using a bigger camera in our studio where we record podcasts, and the bigger camera was different during the last 6 months, although one of my goals for this year was not to change cameras, but I actually wanted to change cameras because I was not satisfied with the image. And we have settled down actually on a Panasonic GH6 with a Voigtlander 17.5mm f/0.95. Those two cameras are not full frame, and I can explain why. First of all, vlogging with a full frame camera is weird. Maybe the people who vlog like that don't have a family, are solo, and so they don't have a problem with that they sometimes have to carry their kid by the hand, and sometimes they have to put it somewhere else on you. I think that this is the problem, that the people who use full frame cameras are basically people without families. And for someone with a family, the rapidity and the possibility to put the camera in a pocket is far more important than any image quality gain that I could probably have while vlogging with a full frame camera. I have tried it also. Last time I was in Paris, I brought the Sony a7 IV with me, and it was so cumbersome that I sold it right when I was back from Paris. And even though I was in Paris solo, I was for a business trip and I had to move fast, and it was not convenient. I also don't see any growth in viewership when using a full frame camera versus a Micro Four Thirds camera versus a 1-inch sensor camera, something like that. The exact same number of people watch my vlogs, and so basically, why bother? People don't care about image quality, people care about audio quality, the sound, and this camera, the Action 1 by DJI, has excellent sound. Far better than those Sonys. And also this camera has far better stabilization than all the Sonys. And that is also why the studio camera, it's a GH6, because it has a wonderful 7.5 stops of in-body stabilization. This is the sensor stabilization. And it's excellent because you can pretty much vlog with it, you can pretty much walk with the camera, and you don't need a gimbal, you don't need any fancy editing process afterwards. And so here is my advice. Don't buy full frame cameras for vlogging. Don't buy the Sony ZV-E1, it has a fatal flaw. And also, if you want to vlog, just use the camera that is convenient to you. And that will make you actually film.